So we watched the first installment of the famous trilogy. It went Valentine's Day, then it went New Year's Eve, and then it went Mother's Day. It's all these movies. I think I've seen them all. I don't remember any of them. We just watched Valentine's Day, and I barely remember it.
It was awful.
But we're gonna give you
I think the other two
review.
were good, though.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe not. I don't remember them really.
Certainly not New Year's Eve. I remember seeing that, and it was bad. But Valentine's Day has who's in it?
Everybody. It's got
It's like a stacked cast.
Jennifer Garner. It's got my gosh, that's not what I can think of. Emma Roberts, Julia Roberts, Taylor Swift,
Taylor
Lautner, Bradley Cooper. Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba's in it for like 2 seconds. Kathy Bates, Jessica Biel, Eric Dane, Patrick Dempsey.
You're saying their names with like a lot of anger.
Oh, I mean this movie's made me very mad. Hector Elizondo, Jamie Foxx, Topher Grace, Anne Hathaway.
Oh yeah, Anne Hathaway.
Carter Jenkins?
I don't know who that is.
Ashton Kutcher. Queen Latifah.
That's her.
George Lopez. What's he up to?
What is George Lopez up to?
Where is George Lopez?
Where is he these days?
Yeah, Julia Roberts, Taylor Swift. Yeah, kind of a stacked cast. Kristen Shaw is in it for like 2 seconds.
It was a lot of really bad acting for a lot of really good actors.
Yeah, what I think happened, there's this movie called Movie 43, which is like this disaster of a comedy. Like at one scene, there's a scene where Hugh Jackman has balls on his chin.
As you do.
And like what happened with that movie, which that movie ultimately was a flop and horrible. But ultimately it was like they were able to cast some big star. It might have been Hugh Jackman. And then they told another star like, hey, this person's in this movie. And then as the cast grew, more and more cast were like, well, if they're in it, I want to be in it.
So what you're saying is it was Hugh Jackman's fault.
Not for this one, not for Valentine's Day.
But for the other one.
But for Movie 43. Yeah. But like that's probably what happened with this. They probably heard like Julia Roberts was doing it.
Yeah.
Which Julia Roberts is in the movie for approximately 10 minutes.
Well, they're all in it for approximately 10 minutes.
I would argue that like Ashton Kutcher is like the main character.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Of the movie.
Yeah.
So like the movie, like it's kind of like it's like a family tree of sorts where like
they're all kind of connected.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of different stories, but they're all kind of connected. It's like that video game Octopath Traveler.
Okay, but not like creatively connected.
Yeah, much like Octopath Traveler.
What is that? Why do you keep looking in the camera like that?
My biggest issue with the movie, I don't know if you agree with this, is like it's not bad like haha funny bad. It's bad like this is boring. I don't want to watch this anymore. This is so bad. Like
torture.
Like we've watched many a rom-com where we're like, this is bad, but we're gonna watch the whole damn thing. If we weren't making this video right now, I don't think I would have watched the whole thing.
I left the room for a while and went and like washed my face and like put a face mask on and like was gone for a little bit of time because it was that boring. I just couldn't sit through it anymore.
She takes her job seriously.
It was horrible. It was torture. I couldn't sit through it. It was really that bad.
So I read an interesting article.
You read an article about it?
I did.
How you take your job really seriously.
Yeah, I did some research beforehand.
Okay.
But I read an article that was like, how much did Julia Roberts make for this movie? This movie that she's in for approximately 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And apparently she made $3 million initially just for being in it.
Right.
And then she also got a 3% stake in the movie.
Oh.
So ultimately, because the movie ultimately did really well at the box office, insert those numbers, editor. It's me. I'm the editor.
Nerd.
But like ultimately, because the movie did so well, she made like $10 million from this movie.
Well, worth it then.
Yeah.
I guess.
And dude, this is some of the worst acting I've ever seen Julia Roberts.
Yeah. Well, it's all, they all were really bad.
But like the interesting thing about Julia Roberts in particular is like all of her scenes take place in one setting, which is an airplane. And it's her and Bradley Cooper just hanging out on an airplane.
Yeah.
Not doing anything. They're sort of talking. You're like, oh, they're cute. They have a cute thing. And then ultimately at the end, you find out Bradley Cooper is gay.
She's going to meet her son.
And she's going to meet her son. And that's like the big twist, the big Valentine's Day twist. Sorry if we spoiled it for you.
Oof. You really just ruined it for a lot of people out there that were going to watch the movie.
Yeah. But it's a lot of that, though, where like, who is this guy? Why does this guy matter? Because there's this sports guy and everyone's like, who you dating today, sportsman? It's Valentine's Day, sportsman. And he's like, I don't know. I'm just a sportsman. I swear that's what he says.
That is exactly what he says.
Right. And he's one of the doctors from...
yes, from Grey's Anatomy. He's McSteamy.
Yeah. And McDreamy is also in this movie.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
But like the whole time he's like... We're like, who is this guy? Why do we care about this guy?
Yeah.
And then at the end, you find out Bradley Cooper, who's been talking to Julia Roberts on the plane. Mm-hmm. That's like his gay lover.
Yeah. You really paid attention to this movie.
And I was still like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Why am I supposed to care about either of these characters? They're both not connected to the main character, who is Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. How were they connected to the main character? Because through... Wait.
Because of the kid, I think, right? I don't know.
Yeah, because the kid is Jennifer Garner's student, right?
Yeah.
And Jennifer Garner is friends with Julia Roberts? No, friends with Ashton Kutcher?
I guess.
Wait. No, Jennifer Garner is the one who's best friends with Ashton Kutcher.
Right.
Which that is a weird pairing. I would not have put them together.
They almost did it right. Where, like, at the end, they kiss, and then they're like, it's too weird. We're just friends.
Yeah, but then they kiss again.
But then they kiss again, and they're like, oh, the spark is there now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wish they kind of just committed to that. And
there was another weird pairing, and I can't remember what it was.
Topher Grace and Anne Hathaway was
pretty
weird.
Yeah, that was a weird pairing.
So that was another through line, was, like, Anne Hathaway was, like, a phone sex operator.
If you do that again, Vladimir, I will have no choice but to get down off my horse and punish you.
But how were they connected to anybody?
And her boss was Queen Latifah.
That's right. And she was somehow connected to Jamie Foxx? No, to Jessica Biel? No.
Well, because Jamie Foxx and Jessica Biel work at a news station together. See, that's the thing. Yeah. There's so much going on in this movie that you're like, what's the fuck?
Happening?
Like, there's several moments in the movie where time goes by, and you're like, oh yeah, Topher Grace is in this movie. Or like, and then time goes by.
There's George Lopez.
Yeah, you're like, George Lopez is in this movie. Actually, George Lopez and Ashton Kutcher were the ones that, like, I didn't forget about, because those were the ones who seemed to have the most, like, fully fledged out story.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because they were the first ones we see in the movie.
Maybe.
So you just immediately are, like, drawn to them. But,
well,
because everyone else just felt like additives. You know, like, everything was just sort of added on top of that.
But not creatively.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very confusing.
I feel like the one for Mother's Day was done better, but I don't fully remember because I haven't watched it.
I don't remember
in
Mother's
a very
Day.
long time.
Mother's Day did come out in 2016.
2016.
This movie, Valentine's Day, came out in 2010.
Wow.
And New Year's Eve came out in 2011. So why was there a 5-year gap? And will we see
St. Patrick's Day?
Will we see St. Patrick's Day? Will we see Martin Luther King Day?
That would be good. I'm into both of those.
Will we get Labor Day?
President's Day? That one. There we go. President's Day.
Yeah. What else? I mean, there's a funny scene where Queen Latifah tries to be a sex worker.
Yep.
Where is Queen Latifah? Where's she? What's she
I
up
don't
to?
know. I love Queen Latifah, though. What is she doing with her life these days? Well, I guess, it's 2021. What is anyone doing with their lives these days?
It's true. So, how do we feel about the chemistries?
Well,
So-
there wasn't really any with anybody.
Oh,
Except for Bradley Cooper and McSteamy. There was chemistry there.
You think so?
Well, they were only in a scene with each other for
Yeah.
0.2 seconds.
It was literally like 2 seconds.
0.2 seconds.
I don't know. The only one that I kind of bought was Julia Roberts and Bradley Cooper being like friends.
Friends, yeah.
I also kind of bought Kutcher and Jennifer Garner being friends,
Yeah.
but not being in a relationship.
Yeah.
Um,
What were their other relationships in it?
Anne Hathaway and Topher Grace.
No, that didn't work for me.
Jessica Biel and Jamie Foxx. I kind of dug that.
Jessica Biel. Oh yeah, Jessica Biel and Jamie Foxx. Yeah, that one was a good one. I think they had chemistry.
That story was just like not done well.
Yeah, but
So.
they could have done a movie together, and I would have believed it.
They're just both so hot.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
And then, like, it was weird, though, because, like, he's like, oh, I need to get a question in with the boss. And he goes in, and she's having, like, a manic episode or something.
Oh, yeah.
Where her room's a mess, and we're like, I don't even understand why.
Right. She was upset about something.
Because it's Valentine's Day. She was upset because it was Valentine's Day. And she didn't have anybody. So she was very upset about that. Which makes no sense, because she's like a successful businesswoman, and she doesn't seem like the type that would be like that.
That would care.
But also, I mean, whatever. It's a movie. They're made up characters. So,
Yeah.
And then they like kiss at the end.
Who
I
were
don't
the
know.
other characters or other?
Taylor Swift and Taylor Lautner.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which were totally put in there because in 2010 they were dating, and they're the hot couple.
No, I think they started
Let's-
dating on this movie. I think this movie is where they met.
No way.
I'm pretty sure.
I'll look into this.
Yeah.
They had chemistry. They had like the high school chemistry though, where
Well,
like
they were supposed to have high school chemistry. They were in high school.
I know, but
Well, they were
like,
supposed to be in high school.
but I mean, just like off of actors, like
Yeah.
you could tell that was almost real.
Yeah.
Where it was almost uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean.
And like Taylor Swift is like trying so hard to be funny
Yeah.
and is not.
No, but she tried.
It's just like when she was on SNL, super cringy.
Picture me in space. Look in the space. Captain, the Zorgons are in pursuit and there's aliens everywhere.
Don't be rude to my girl Taylor.
I love you, Taylor. Keep
How
writing
dare
music,
you.
but don't do comedy.
Do comedy, girl. Don't let him hold you back. There was also the Emma Roberts and that other guy. I don't know who he is.
Oh yeah, there's like that.
That creepy scene where he like is naked in the room and the
Oh,
mom's
yeah.
just standing there.
And he's like got a guitar because he's about to like sleep with Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
And they're in high school, and like the mom walks in, and she's in there for an uncomfortable amount of time.
Well, and then he like runs out naked and then finds Emma Roberts and gets in her car.
yeah, wouldn't
That's
the mom be like,
coincidence.
"I'm gonna walk out, change, and you leave"? But instead, he like runs out the door after they
To
have
be
a long
fair-
conversation.
To be fair, I would also if I was caught naked in someone's room in high school.
Sorry, I'm doing some hardcore research.
Yeah, why are you reading about Joe Jonas?
Here we go. They met on the set of Valentine's Day.
I told you. See, don't doubt me. I know what I'm talking about.
That's so weird. Because, like, I could have swore they were in that just so they could, like, I don't know, capitalize on, like, the blossoming romance of two young teen stars.
That's really creepy. I don't like the way you worded that.
Oh, man. What's Taylor Lautner up to? You know they made a whole other Shark Boy and Lava Girl without him?
Yeah, I watched part of it. It was pretty good. I watched it with Evie and Oliver.
Yeah. So anyway, Valentine's Day, it's a stinker.
Not worth it. I mean, if you haven't seen it by now, you probably won't. So, because it came out in 2010.
Yeah, and it's not bad, like, funny where you can get some laughs out of it. There are a couple scenes like that, but, like, for the most part, it's just
Bad. It's
pretty
just boring.
boring, yeah.
Really boring.
Hey, if you have any suggestions for movies for us to watch, leave a comment.